Welcome to the channel. It's puzzle time again with a new case for you with Sudoku Sleuth. Today's case is Substation by Greyden Campbell. Now, presumably the puzzle is named as such because of these lines here that almost look like electricity bolts, which, given they're green lines, I suspect I know what they are, but presumably the rules, which we'll look at in a moment, will certainly clarify. Um, Now, how I pick Sudoku puzzles is I scour the internet looking for puzzles that are highly rated, as well as being rated as moderately easy. Now, I had this puzzle in my bookmarks for a while, but it always looked a little daunting. And today, being Sunday, I see no harm in taking a little longer to solve today's puzzle. Now, on this channel, for those of you that regularly visit it, you're familiar by now that we're often looking at solving Sudoku variants, meaning they're Sudoku puzzles with a twist that allows us to fill in a grid that's completely devoid of numbers. Today's puzzle is once again one such puzzle when Greyden Campbell has generously given us 0 digits to get us started. So let's take a look at today's rules. So rules are normal Sudoku rules applied. So digits 1 through to 9 must be placed in each row column and indeed box in the grid. Adjacent digits on green line must differ by at least 5. And we've seen this before on the channel. These are generally called German whispers line. And when I start the puzzle, I'll explain what these mean in a bit more detail and some of the restrictions that apply. But if we go, for example, that this is a 3 on here, you can immediately see that to be away from 3 by 5 digits or more, this can only be 8 or 9. And you end up with this pattern where you're oscillating between a low digit, as in 1, 2, 3, or 4, and a high digit, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Note, I didn't include a 5, and I hope that will be obvious that if you put a 5 in any German whisper line, this will either be a 0 or a 10, neither of which is allowed under today's normal Sudoku rules apply. What else do we have in terms of rules? Digits on the thermometer increase from the bulb end, so that's the bulb end, meaning if this is a 4, this can only be 5 or higher, and if this is a 5, this can only be 6 or higher. And then the last rule that we have for today, the digits 1 to 9 appear exactly once on each of the indicated diagonals. And we have 2 diagonals in today's puzzle, this diagonal here and that diagonal there, not this cell. And essentially, we need to make sure that all the numbers on each of these digits are unique. Obviously, that's one set of the digits 1 to 9. That's another set of the digits 1 to 9. And this digit here, this cell that's common to both diagonals, is indeed common to both. And that's it. That's all the rules that we have for today. So, oh yeah, of course, if you want to play along, link is in the description down below as usual. And with that said, let's restart the clock and get solving today's case. Now, I'm immediately looking at these diagonals where, if you recall in the introduction, I've already said that you can never place a 5 on a German whispers line. And if you look at this diagonal, every cell is on a German whispers line. In fact, even in this diagonal, except for 1, and that's the center of the grid. So this has to be a 5, and therefore these digits have to be below 5, and these digits have to be above 5. Now, if you've seen me complete German whispers puzzles before, you know I tend to color low digits blue and high digits red. Thinking almost like a temperature, going from cold blue to hot red. And I usually color the digit 5 as gray to indicate it's neutral, it's neither cold nor red. What else can we do? So I'm taking a look at these bolts next, because you can see that if this is low, that's high, low, high, low, high, low, high. And essentially it's oscillating between them. Now, I don't know if this is low or high, so I'm just going to color it a different color from blue or red. Let's go with green, and I'll go with yellow in here. And you can see now we've got 4 greens in column 1, 4 yellows in column 2, which immediately tells us what these have to be. Because essentially, if this is low, then we've used up the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are no more low digits to give. So these two up here have to be yellow. This has to be green. We don't know what this is. And looking at this puzzle that's symmetrical, I'm going to say rotationally symmetrical, you can see these bolts are the same over here, as are these. So if you essentially turn the grid 180 degrees around, everything is identical except for the thermometer. This is the only thing that we have to break this symmetry and make sure that we have a unique solution for this puzzle. So same essentially would apply here, although I don't know if it's green or yellow. So I'm going to give it a different color, purple, orange, orange and purple. We don't really know what the colors are for any of the remaining ones. And we know that these are different. These are different. So when I say different, because this is not 2 greens, and this is not 2 purples or 2 oranges. So it means that we need another green with another yellow, another purple, and another orange, but we don't really know the order of any of these. And the same can be said is true for the other diagonal as well. So I think this is as far as we're going to get with German whispers for the moment, at least the colors that we have. We're going to have a little bit of more of a think around probably these bolts, given it's got all 4 in them. Right. Let's take a look at this cell. Or in fact, let's ask the question. And I did say in the introduction, I'll explain German whispers in a second. So in a bit more detail. So let's think green is low for the moment. And it's essentially one of the digits 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, the 4 is extremely restricted because there is only one digit that can be away from a 4, can be 5 away from a 4, and that's a 9. 3 is still fairly restricted because, yes, the 9 is appropriate, but the only other digit that can be 5 away from 3 would be 8. And you end up with this pattern where the most restricted digit can only be ever paired up with 1. Now, let's take a look at green for a second. This cell is paired up with 2 digits that see each other in the same column and, in fact, even box. This is also paired up with 2. You can see here, this cell is paired up with 2. So where can 4 go on green? If it's on green, it has to be in here. And, you know, the reciprocal of this is true. So I can write the same numbers, essentially, if they're high. 6 is highly restricted. To be 5 away from 6, it can only be a 1. 7 is then the second most restricted digit. It can only be a 1 or a 2. And you end up with this pattern of 1 and 9 are, you know, the least restricted pair, but 4 and 6 are the most restricted pair. Now, keep this grid in mind because, you know, I will delete it, but I imagine we're going to need this to complete this Sudoku today. So this can be 4 or 6, and it has to be paired up with 1 or 9. And you can see that's lovely. That's the same here for yellow. This has to be the only place that 4 or 6 could be on yellow. Again, this cell sees 2, this cell sees 2, this cell sees 2. So it has to be up here, joint with a 1 or a 9. Now, going back to that table that I laid out, if we continue thinking through this, so let's imagine green is low for a second. Where would 3 go? So 3 has to be paired up with an 8 or a 9. Now, if I try and place the 3 in here, that's not going to work because I would need to place an 8-9 pair in here, and we can no longer place a 9 in here, and that breaks the German whispers rules. So this is the only place the 3 could go, because then that would be the 9, that would be the 8. And then the reverse is true. If this was 6 and 1, this has to be a 7 paired up with a 2. And same logic applies up here. This is a 3-7 with a 2-8, and we end up with a 2-8 pair on column 7 here. Now, I imagine this logic that I've just completed in here is exactly applicable up on this bolt up there. So this has to be 4-6, 1-9, 3-7, 2-8. That was a 2-8 as well. That's 3-7. And then 1-9, 4-6. And that's beautiful. Because now we can see, although these two cells are on opposite ends of the grid, they're not in the same row or column, same row, column, or boxes, yet they do see each other through the diagonals, meaning purple has to be yellow, because this 4-6 is already taken on this diagonal, and remember, there is the digits 1 through to 9 on each diagonal. So if this is a 4, this has to be a 6. If this is a 6, this has to be a 4. So purple is green, and orange is yellow. No, I meant the other way around. Yeah, that looks correct. Right, what else do we know? So we need, let's just carry on looking at the diagonal for a moment longer. So we need to place the digits 2, 8, and 3, 7. And take a look at 2, 8. It can't be placed in either side because of this 2, 8 pair in box 3 and 2, 8 pair in box 7. So 2, 8 has to be in the middle. We don't know the order of, what color they are just yet. There's nothing really to disambiguate it. And there, they have to be paired up with 3, 7 to essentially complete all the digits that we need on this diagonal. 3, 7 in the box tells us what color this is. So this is yellow, this is green, and then this has to be the opposite because it's on the other side of the German whispers line. This is yellow, this is green. And we've got quite a great start for today's puzzle. So let's have a look at, I'm sort of drawn to this next. See if there's anything else we can do with this. So we know this has to be green. We also know it can't be a 4-6 green because, again, it sees 2 cells on the German whispers line. It also sees a 1-9. So this is either 2-8, 2-8 or 3-7. And therefore these yellows have to be, because this is not 1-9, eliminated by this row. This cannot be 4-6. It can essentially be from 1-9, 2-8, and 3-7. It's quite a few digits, but let's see if the other side of the diagonal will help us. So same logic, this has to be a 2, 3, 7, 8. These have to be from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. This is not 3, 7 either. I'm just taking a look at, I feel like we should be able to do a bit better. Pardon me, let me remove the 3, 7 from here. But there's nothing really that's telling us much of anything just yet. So this has to be yellow because remember we used all 4 greens in the column. and we've got 5 in a row, so this has to be yellow. We got 4, 6, 3, 7, so this is from 1, 2, 8, 9. And therefore this has to be green, and it's from, again, 1, 2, 8, 9. We've got a 1, 2, 8, 9 pair in here of the same color, most importantly. So we know this is not 1, 9 or 2, 8. That's 3, 7. This is not 3, 7. And I'm assuming, yeah, 1, 2, 8, 9 pair. So this is not 1, 2, 8, or 9. That's 3, 7. And that's not 3, 7. Definitely making some progress here. Still don't know which of these two pairs they are, but I'm sure there will be more in the puzzle that will tell us. So missing in column 1 is a 4, 6 yellow and a 5. And this 4, 6 tells us where the 5 has to be, or tells us where the 4, 6 is. It can't be in this cell. It's got to be in here. Otherwise it will conflict in the box. So that's 4, 6. That's the 5. And once I'm sure the logic is, you can see I'm not even checking it. Now I'm just confident that it is rotationally symmetrical. And that's the 4, 6. So we need a 4, 6 screen in here. Right, so we've got 2, 8, 3, 7. So these have to be from 1, 9, 1, 9, and 4, 6. And we know the order of these because this cannot be 4, 6 again because it sees two cells. So the 1, 9 is on the outside and the 4, 6 on the inside of box 5, I mean. We've got, this could still be a yellow. It doesn't have to be green. No, can it? No, it can't be. You see, because of the way all of these bolts have been drawn on the grid, very deliberately, I may add, by Greyden Campbell, is these two cells are of the same color. So if this is yellow, this would also have to be yellow, and then we'd end up with 5 yellows in box 1. So this can't be yellow, this is green, these are yellow, and the reverse is true here. These are yellow, these are green. And we continue to make progress. So that's not 1, 9, 2, 8. It could be 3, 7, or 4, 6. Same is true in here. This green here is not 4, 6. I mean, aside from it sees a column row, but also sees two cells. So that's not 4, 6. That's not 2, 8. It's either 1, 9 or 3, 7. And the same will be true over here. So this cell here has to be green. 4 yellows in the column, 5 in the box. This has to be green. And we need, in fact, we do need one more yellow. So this is yellow in here. We've used all the yellows in the row. Did I do this correctly? Pardon me, this is yellow. So we need a green. Yeah, this is probably what will help us disambiguate which color is which, as in which one is high, red, and which one is low, blue. So I think whenever we complete these, any of these 4 cells, we'll be able to figure out the polarity of our colors. So we still need 2 more greens. I'm not sure I'm going to make much progress until I know what the colors are. Let's take a look elsewhere in the grid. So what is this number? It's not 2, 8, it's not 3, 7, that's 1, 9, or 4, 6. Same in here. So we need a 1,9 in this box. And this 1,9 is helpful. It tells us the 1,9 has to be down here. So that's 1,9, that's 4,6. 5 is somewhere up here with a 3,7, a green 3,7. And this cell tells us the 3,7 must be up here. And the 5 must be there. So that's gray, green. Same is true in here. Three, 7 in the box tells us this is, yeah, helps us disambiguate this. And here as well. This has to be green, and it's one of 1, 2, 8, or 9. It's not 1, 9, it's 2, 8. That's 1, 9. That's 2, 8 as well. That's 1, 9. And that's yellow. We've almost completed the entire grid, and we still don't know what's high and what's low. So what we need in here is another yellow. It's a 4, 6 yellow. This cell tells us it's got to be in here. That's got to be the green one. That's the 5. So if this is 4 or 6, that's got to be 1 or 9. So that's not 3, 7. That's not 3, 7. So we need a 3, 7 green in here, and we need a 4, 6 yellow. Let me fix that once I spotted it. So that's got to be 4, 6 yellow, 3, 7 green, 4, 6 green in here, 3, 7 yellow. We're really going to have to figure out this column before we can figure out the colors. Feels a bit daunting, really, that we're having to go this far. Just looking at where else do we not know what the digit is. This caught my eye. Now that we have a 2, 8 in column 7, we know that the 2, 8 is not in here. So the 2, 8 has to be this cell, and the 1, 9 would have to be somewhere in this column. And presumably that's reciprocal here. That's the 2, 8, and the 1, 9 would be somewhere in here. To complete this box, we need 3, 7 and 1, 9. And we don't really know yet which order is it, do we? This could easily still be a 3, 7 yellow, nothing stopping that, or in here. So one of these is a 3, 7 yellow. Let's keep going elsewhere. So we need a 5 in this box. It's got to be one of these. Let's see, what else do we need in the row? We need a green 3, 7. These two is an option. We need a 1, 9 yellow. Do we? I must have made a mistake. Can I spot it easily? Sorry. I have made a mistake somewhere. It's just So the the bottom side is correct. These three are 1-9 green. The 1-9 yellow is in here. So that all looks correct. So green is where we meant to have 3 digits. 1-9. So where did I make that mistake? Is that meant to be, yeah, that's meant to be 1-9. Yeah, okay. So in fact, we need a yellow 2-8, a yellow 4-6. We know where that is. We don't know yet where the yellow 2-8 is. We need a green 3-7. That's got to go in here. There we go. Okay, so that's 3-7. Finally, we know the 3-7 has got to be on the sides. So that's 3-7. That's 3-7. That's yellow joined by 2 greens, and they are 2-8, 4-6. Now let's have a think. So if these are 1-9, red means, because we can see a yellow in here, so this red has to be green, or I should say green has to be red. So let's fix that now. That's not green, that's red. That's not yellow, that's blue. And then we need a 1-9 pair in here in the row to complete it. So that's blue, red, blue, red. I mean, we can quickly now replace all the blues with the low digits, all the reds with the high digits. I'm just going to finish coloring this, and then we can complete this fairly quickly. So we've got all the reds. We need 2 blues. We need 2 reds. We need 2 blues and a 5. So the 5 has to be in here because we've already got 4 of them in the grid, plus 2 blues. That's symmetrical with 2 reds. See if we can complete the digits quickly. That's got to be 2-8. That's 1-9. 2-8. 1-9. 5. 5. We need a 2-8, which is in here, and a 3-7. 2-8. 3-7. And that looks correct. Let's just now replace all the 1-9 blue digits with 1. 2 8s with 2. That's all the blues done. So I should be able to do this more easily. That's the puzzle complete, 25 minutes. It's a phenomenal puzzle, Greyden. I always enjoy puzzles where you have to color them all the way through, not necessarily knowing something until, you know, this thermometer in the end really helped us break what color is which. I mean, the break-in as well, just having to think about the 4-6 pairs and realizing that this is essentially a running order in opposite directions is fantastic. Now, I really hope you enjoyed today's puzzle. Lost a little bit of time there about the mistake I made with this cell, but I'm glad I spotted it rather than having to restart again. Hope to see you again tomorrow for the next video.